Hello there. I see you're on mute. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. How are you doing, Lisa?
Good,
This is
good.
Silvina.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Very good. Thanks for joining this morning.
Yes, it's a pleasure. Looking forward for the content.
Yeah. So how are things? How are things going for you guys?
Things going good in this typical year, and but doing well. How about you? And how go?
Everybody, so in terms of family and friends, everybody is healthy and happy. So far,
Yeah,
so good.
that's the
So,
yes, that's the most important thing. This
yeah,
yeah to hear about.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
in terms of business, it's been incredibly busy. So I feel very fortunate because well, because it isn't that way for everybody.
Yes, absolutely. And congratulations for your new chairs.
Oh my
Very happy for
gosh.
that.
Well, it's a big job. So
Yes,
I
I was
don't know.
going to yeah, I was going to say that it's a big challenge in this in this time, no? In this
Yeah.
atypical, yeah.
I don't know if I realized what I got myself into.
Yes, you are a very, very talented person and professional. So you are going to do things fantastic and a new fresh air to the association. So that's very, very good to hear.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Oh, cool. So, anything new that you guys are working on or any,
Oh, yeah,
launches or anything coming up?
we are working as you mentioned before a lot. This is a very, very busy year, and we were involved in a very important projects, and we obtained another important contract in Brazil. So we are going to deploy more than 4,500 machine to machine vegan unit in Brazil for the electric car market. So electricity market, sorry, my English, that is not one of my very good talent English, but we are very, very happy for that. But very, very easy to deploy all those units in this atypical year, that everything costs double force. So yeah, very happy for that.
That's great. That's really
Yeah.
exciting. So, one of the things to consider is there a story that we could tell on the pulse, right?
Yeah.
Maybe there's so maybe think about that.
Yeah.
That would be really interesting, I think.
Yes, I'm going to discuss it with Alberto. I think that he's going to be very glad to do something in Paris about it. Yes.
Great, 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 great. I see some folks are logging in
Yeah.
here. Hi, Robert. Thank you for joining. And Roger, well, Roger doesn't have his audio on yet. He's
Hi there.
still connecting. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Really well. Yep. So I thought I might join in and catch a first meeting.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining this morning. We were just catching up on kind of what's going on in business and all that. What do you guys have going on?
Look, we've just in the process of supporting election in Brazil. So that was, I don't know, about 1,400 terminals or so. So the first round went off really well. That's began. And there should be a second round towards the end of the month. So that's been quite an interesting exercise. Obviously, a lot of logistics and everything to make that work. And then we're just sort of powering on with the rest of our business, a lot of land mobile and maritime satellite activity.
Great. That's really exciting. I think, again, what I was mentioning to Sylvina is that there are a lot of opportunities that we'll talk about on the call this morning that, we can maybe talk about some of those things to a broader audience.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, Andrew. Thanks for joining.
Hey, good morning.
How are you?
Very good, thank you. How about yourself?
Good. Good. Healthy and safe. So far, so good.
Excellent.
Hi, Peggy. Thanks for joining.
Yes, hi.
How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Great. Good. Well, great. Anyone else have anything that they want to share? I always try to give some time in the beginning of the call for people to talk about new and exciting launches or anything like that that's going on, new products, new solutions. Anyone have anything they want to share? You guys are shy. Hi, Frank. I saw you join too. Welcome. Okay.
Hi. There's a mute button out there somewhere. Yeah. Hello.
It's hard to get to that, huh? Sorry, I
Yeah.
disappeared for a second. I dropped a pen on the floor. Okay. I'm gonna bring up the presentation. What I realized is that I set this up so that, and Frank, you might be able to watch this for me. I set this up accidentally so that I had to admit everybody that came in, and maybe that's good for security. So, but in any case, I don't know if I go to sharing, if I'll be able to see, but I'm hoping that I will be able to see. But I'm gonna go to sharing on the presentation so that we can get going on the content here.
So Lisa, maybe what I can do is I can log in from the account, and then I can be your admin. Is that what you were thinking? And I can admit people?
It actually kind of looks like you already are logged in as the main.
Okay.
So, okay, great. So are you guys seeing the presentation here? I just want to make sure you're seeing what I'm seeing.
Yeah, it looks good. Thanks, Lisa.
Yep.
Okay, fantastic. And it's in presentation mode, right? Like you're seeing just the slide?
Yeah, absolutely. It's perfect.
Okay. Oh gosh, I might have to kick the dog out of the room. Isn't this the COVID experience, right? Where of course the dogs and the kids are moving into the office. So anyway, thank you all for joining today, and really appreciate you being here. And I'm going to jump into kind of some of the things that we have going on the rest of this year, which there's not much left, and into 2021. So there's, I think, a lot of really exciting things that we're rolling out, and obviously we'll continue to look to you for some input as well for the future of MSUA. So I'll talk about all of these great things on our agenda. Oh, whoops. And we don't have, I made one little mistake on that. But one of the things that we just did, gosh, was that just last week? I can't believe it. These weeks go by so quickly, but seem so long as well. One of the things that we did last week was we launched the Pulse, which is our new webcast. And we had a great session on the autonomous edge. If you missed it, there's a link here as well as a passcode. And I'll obviously send this presentation out after the call today, but feel free to join this. We've also shared the link and everything, both in Mobility News and out on social media. So check it out. Isotropic Networks hosted or sponsored our first session. So take a look at that. We have other sessions coming up. We'll be also looking to work with you to go ahead and get other sessions going. So if you have topics or things that you would like to cover, definitely reach out to me. You can reach us at either marketing@msua.org or president@msua.org. That goes directly to me. So So anyway, so definitely check this out. We had 4 panelists on this particular event. We had a couple of top level people, one from Intel, another from HP, and then we brought in Orbit's Edge. They are doing edge computing in space. And then we had an analyst on the call as well. So definitely check it out. It was a pretty good first effort out. And I'm also uploading this to YouTube, so that'll be available. The session will be available there as well. So I'll send out a link on when that's available. But to get into a little bit more detail on the Pulse, basically we're doing this web series. We're trying to do at least one a month, but even looking to increase that. There are sponsorship opportunities. There are obviously opportunities for you to be panelists. And so it's one of those things that we are rolling out as a new initiative for MSUA. Any questions about participation on the Pulse? Okay, there is a page on the MSUA website, so just msua.org. You'll see it in the main navigation at the top of the site. So you can go ahead and click there.
Just one note that I'm producing the webinar, The Pulse, for the Public Safety Network next Tuesday. So
Oh, great.
just for your information, and when we decide to distribute it, and if we seek any sponsors is TBD.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for bringing that up, Frank. That's fantastic. So actually, if anyone would be interested in that session, that as a sponsor, that is Public Safety Network solution area that Frank is doing a session on. So we'll both be kind of tag teaming on these sessions. And there's also opportunities that if you wanted to host a session, you could do that as well. So there's lots of opportunities here with the Pulse. In any case, if you have any questions, definitely feel free to reach out to me or to our organization. Just hit up marketing@msua.org. I'll be kind of repetitive on that. In terms of sponsorships, these are the sponsorship opportunities. And as you can see, as members, the sponsorships are, get a special member rate for those sponsorships. And the other thing that I want to mention, hopefully you all have received your renewal notices. And one of the things that we are including in the renewal is for renewing members, a gold sponsorship of the Pulse. So that is, you get one gold sponsorship with your renewal. So it's a great opportunity. I believe the deadline for that, and it would be on the renewal notice, but I think it's December 11th. So renew before December 11th and you will get that gold sponsorship as a renewing member. And then new members will receive a silver sponsorship. But of course, there's always opportunities to sponsor additional sessions as well. So let us know on that. Okay, so this is the background on the guest panelists. There is a document out on the website where you can click through and it will give you all the details of becoming a panelist or like hosting a session. So feel free again to go out to the Pulse page on the website, and that will give you all of the details on becoming a panelist as well. Okay. So in terms of your standard renewal, your deadline for renewal is December 30th, but to get that additional sponsorship, like I was mentioning earlier, I have December 10th here. I think we pushed it to December 11th just because of when the renewal notices went out. But in any case, definitely be sure to renew early so that you can gain access to this free sponsorship or complimentary sponsorship of the Pulse. Any questions on memberships or renewals? One of the things, and I think I'll get into this in a little bit, is just adding additional member benefits. So we'll talk about that as well for 2021. One of the things that I did want to talk about is the Mobility Innovation Awards. And I would actually really like to get some input from the team here, if you guys are willing to come off mute and give some input. But one of the things that has happened since we originally made an announcement that we were going to do the Mobility Innovation Awards was that satellite ended up moving to July. So typically we would do our Mobility Innovation Awards in March along with satellite and have our luncheon at the satellite event. And so now we're kind of grappling with, okay, do we push back the awards and, do it along with satellite like we normally would, which that's kind of where we're leaning, but things are so up in the air that we don't really know. Will satellite actually happen in July or not, just because things are kind of crazy right now, at least here in the US. So I would love your input, in terms of, I know there's a lot of value in these award opportunities for our members, and having the opportunity to promote that throughout the year. So getting the awards earlier in the year as opposed to, more than halfway through the year. Perhaps that makes a difference to you. But any comments or thoughts on that?
Hey, Lisa, it's Andrew here. I think just for my own 2 cents, I think even though the timing is later than in the year, I'd be inclined to, if we assume that satellite will go ahead live as planned, that we track along with that as well.
Yeah.
It's later in the year, so hopefully there's a greater opportunity for people to travel. And, just personally, I mean, I'm desperate to get out from behind a screen. And people that I've been talking to have pretty much said the same thing. So I think if people reckon it's safe to travel, you get a lot of people trying to make it to that event rather than trying to, let's say, host a virtual event in February or March or something like that. Just my 2 cents.
No, that's really good input. Any other perspectives on this? Okay. Well, feel free again to send any thoughts to marketing@msua.org and we'll take that into consideration. So the long and the short of it is that submissions deadline will, if we move to along with satellite, which that's kind of what we're thinking about doing, but it's, we wanted to get input from the members. If that's the case, then obviously the submission deadline will roll back as well. And we are considering other award categories. So if you have thoughts on award categories, definitely feel free to give us feedback on that as well. So a really main point here is that our members are our future. And so we are really keen to make sure that the benefits that we're offering to our members are truly valuable and giving you, business impacting, positive business impacting, benefits. So definitely, we really want your input, and we're also obviously looking to bring in new members. So if you know organizations that you think would benefit from being part of MSUA, definitely let us know. Feel free to reach out to me or anyone on the team to make recommendations or suggestions. The other thing is we are the Mobile Satellite Users Association. And so I have a really keen interest in getting users involved. And obviously, in order to get users involved, we need to have benefits that would benefit those users. And one of the things that I've been thinking about and kind of exploring and would love to explore with you is obviously a lot of our members provide services and solutions to the users. And I feel like there's an opportunity for our current members that are those solution providers and service providers to provide perhaps special benefits to users that would become members of the MSUA. And I'm exploring adding a page to our website that would be kind of an end user MSUA members benefit page where you could promote special offers to users that would become members of the MSUA. So think about this a little bit. Certainly, if anyone has any feedback on this idea, you know, feel free to speak up right now.
So Lisa, conceptually, I think it's a good idea. You know, one of the things with satellite is that it sort of becomes an industry forum talking only to industry people without end users actually attending. So that's something that we've certainly seen and hope that changes into the future. But if we can get this organisation with users involved, that would be good, and some incentive to do so from us as members, you know, we'd certainly support that.
Great, great. Yeah, I mean, I can't help but think that, you know, I was thinking, what kind of benefits could we offer to the user community? And obviously there's other benefits, like for example, next month, Euroconsult is going to join us, and I've kind of negotiated with them to give a special benefit or discount on their research to MSUA members. Well, that could benefit not only our current members, which are mostly in industry people or companies, but could also benefit end users as well. So I'm really looking at other benefits that we could provide that would be of interest to that user community. So certainly open to other ideas as well, but I thought, my gosh, we have this great membership already that could obviously offer benefits that could be end user benefits, right? So in any case, start thinking about if you were to offer some sort of a user benefit to MSUA end user members, what might that look like? There may be promotions that you're already doing. I mean, they could be short-term promotions for new solutions or products, or even existing solutions and products, or it could be more of an ongoing thing. So kind of just, I guess, put that in the back of your mind and think about it, because it's something that I'm really keen to do. And if the members sound, you know, if our current members sound like it's something that they would be interested in, we'll really, you know, move forward with that as we go into 2021.
So Lisa, what sort of ideas have you got to recruit that demand side of the users to be attracted and join as members?
Right, exactly. Well, so what I was just talking about was one of those things, right? So, I guess two things that I mentioned. One is that if our current members that are those solution providers are offering benefits to the user community, then obviously the user that they could only get as MSUA members, then that is one thing that could potentially draw those user members into the organization. Another would be things like offers like, you know, the research and that sort of thing. So if they could gain discounted access to satellite data and information through an organization like a Euroconsult or other organizations like that, then they could see that as a benefit. So I'm also looking at other potential ideas as well, but I'm like, I could use your input as well. So there's a number of things, could be educational types of things as well that we could offer, education benefits and things like that. So I'm really at this point exploring a lot of different perspectives, but I think like you mentioned before, just as an industry, we have a tendency, right, to talk a lot to ourselves. And so if there's an opportunity for us to really behave as our name suggests, that we are a users association, then that would be really great, I think. So that kind of goes into this next slide. Obviously, we want to continue to build our membership and just kind of extending on the conversation we were just having, kind of broadening that membership universe to include users as well. And then just increased engagement. I think, we really want to become more engaged with our members and make sure that the benefits that you're getting from being involved in the organization are really useful, are beneficial for your business. And then we want to obviously amplify that voice of the user. Like I said, we want to try to get that user community engaged and becoming part of the organization so that we can not only, have them as part of the organization, but also really hear what they have to say. What are their challenges? What are they facing? What could we do better as an industry to support our users? Okay. And this is the long list of other ideas and things that we're considering and looking at. And some of these things, like I said, I'm actively working on some of these benefits. So there's, I guess, a few bullets down. We talk about discounts on research and reports. Like I mentioned, next month we'll be having Euroconsult on. So our next call is on December 10th. And we'll have Euroconsult on, and they will be talking about some specific member discounts that they can offer on their research. So I think that's one example of an opportunity. But there's other things we're looking at. Like if we were to do some annual studies, I was looking at a couple of different, it could be any number of topics, and I would love your input and ideas as well on that. We could do a regular annual research report on, whatever state of the, not just state of the satellite industry, other, SIA and other organizations already do that, but maybe looking at other aspects that would be unique to what MSUA could focus on. So certainly any ideas on that. And then we were also thinking about, maybe there's other award opportunities throughout the year, or maybe there's, two opportunities, one during satellite and another at another time of the year. So in any case, the bottom line would be just, more opportunities to engage, more opportunities for our members to get additional benefits and things that they can promote out to their community. So any thoughts?
Hi, this is Roger.
Hey, Roger.
One thought that might possibly be a benefit to existing members, but also appeal to new members. I'm fairly new to MSUA, so you may already have this. I don't know if there's a kind of a common depository or listing or exposure of the individual businesses, the individual member businesses and what they do. It's probably less significant for some of the larger organizations that are members, as it's more obvious who they are and what they do. But for some of the smaller businesses or people who are newer to the industry, I know some of the OTAs I'm involved in, most of them have a central depository that really provides not only contact information for them, but a listing of their capabilities, an opportunity to share new developments, and provides a very nice opportunity to both get an understanding of what the other members do and offer, but then also provide exposure to your own organization and what you're capable of. So I'm not sure if MSUA has that, but it's a consideration.
Absolutely. That's actually a really, really great point. I love that idea. And in fact, we are working on also updating and upgrading our website. And so, and one of the things that we were talking about doing is actually having kind of a much more robust member area where you could have, like you're kind of suggesting, an overview of your organization and link out to like your blog or your website or what have you, and that maybe that's the area where you could offer, your special member offers or things like that. So absolutely, that is a really great point. We've also talked about like an area where you could do job listings as well. So if you are recruiting, we could either link out to your careers page or list specific positions and things like that. I mean, obviously there's some upkeep there. So if we could set up some sort of a automated feed or something like that, which that may be possible, and that's something that we could look at as well. Any other thoughts?
Lisa, it's Frank. Sorry to barge in again. Do we need any other feedback about the webinar program, the Pulse? Do we feel like we have good feedback from Roger and Robert and Peggy and Andrew on what more we can do there? Any questions about how it's working or how it's set up? I'm just wondering if we're good on that side.
No, it's a good point. So any thoughts on that, on the webcast series that we're doing?
And don't feel bad if you don't love the approach. We'd rather have you be honest with us, especially especially Andrew, who's new to the conversation. Hi, Andrew. Love to have your feedback, and we're really anxious to raise the bar and increase the visibility of our business of satellite communications for mobility. We know that the things we're doing, talking to end users and having industry topics, are things you can do, but we feel we've got a unique swim lane of responsibility for the user community in being sure that their requirements and their future needs and their aspirations are out there. So we're anxious to sort of ramp this up and really need your feedback because you're all closer to the customers than we are.
Yeah, this is Roger. I actually participated in the last presentation. I thought it was very beneficial. I mean, I liked kind of the casual approach. The people who spoke were clearly knowledgeable and they provided some really good insights. But I think what I enjoyed mostly was that some of the topics were a bit off topic or a bit off centered of what I focus on day to day. And I found that very enlightening. And I think you'd mentioned, yeah, that you have it posted so you can view it later if you can't attend the live session. And so I find that to be very beneficial, just being able to scroll through topics that have been offered or may be offered in the future, and gain some insight into areas that I might not normally focus on. I enjoyed it.
So we're a bit new to sort of following this, but so I can't say I've actually seen one yet, but my feedback would be that anything that can build engagement with members and with others in the industry is a good thing to do. There is a little bit of overkill at the moment with the number of organisations that are trying to engage with people with webinars. And I mean, you could sit on a webinar all day, every day. So it's a crowded market, is what I'm saying. But I still don't think that's a reason not to make the effort for people who are interested in the content. And provided it continues to be high quality content, then I think it will just build. So I'd certainly encourage it to continue, and we'll try and get a little bit more engaged with it.
Robert, thank you for that feedback. Lisa, again, sort of barge in. So to that point, should we be light and shorter and keep our topics very sharp? Sharp to the point of not being a general conversation about the aeronautical industry, but to be very specific and pointed. Would that be helpful to have it more digestible and maybe be of more interest, and maybe even from the point of view of being able to look at it post distribution, where it's clearly a topic about XYZ? Would that be helpful? Is there something more we can do to differentiate ourselves?
I certainly think that the subject has to be to really draw you in on what you engaged in it, and sort of the sharper you can have the hook to hook people in, the better. I do think I think what was it, Roger's point was that having some variety in the messaging and even some variety in the particular podcast is probably, or in the Pulse thing, is probably a good idea as well, to sort of broaden people out. But yeah, the core part of the webinar has to really draw people in. I think it's got to be either controversial, or it's got to be really topical, or it's got to be something that, you know, that's really going to get people wanting to engage with it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and Frank, I think, yeah, just from my side, I echo what Robert said. Also, including the fact that I have to confess that I haven't yet had a chance to see one of the ones that you have done. But yeah, just from my own perspective, I think, you know, we've found that you know, a webcast rather than a podcast is a bit more engaging. And from my own experience, I think, you know, it's sort of shorter. It seems to be a bit better, you know, shorter meaning like 10 minutes if you're just talking to one person maximum, rather than, you know, a half-hour webcast or something like that, where sort of a panel session seems to work better like that. But yeah, everything else that Robert and Roger have said, I think, yeah, I'd agree with.
Thank you. That's useful. And I'm setting up the Public Safety Network webinars I mentioned earlier for next week, and it'll just be one person I'm interviewing with, and I plan to do it not quite like a talk show or not quite like the morning news, but casual. And my objective is 20 to 30 minutes, and very specific. And it's going to be about, you know, not about aeronautical, not about maritime. It's going to be about public safety on land, satellite communications, global pandemic, what's happening, what's going on, you know, just boom, boom, boom. And it's going to be different than the one that Lisa did, because it's only going to be one person. The beauty of it is that we can pivot and we can adjust. And with all of your good feedback, we can create something unique. So great feedback. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all the input. This has been really helpful. And thank you, Frank, for digging in a little bit deeper on that topic. I think that's really helpful. Another thing worth mentioning is that there's also live streaming events that we can do. I've just started doing these for my own business, and those have been pretty effective, and those are much shorter time frame, but you can live stream. Well, LinkedIn is still doing a beta, so not everyone has access to the LinkedIn live streams, but you can do live streams on YouTube and some other platforms as well. And that's something that we could look at. And those sessions that I've been doing have been much shorter, for, you know, kind of that 10 to 15, maybe 20 minutes, and kind of having a consistent interview format. That's something that we could leverage for like our executive interviews. That's something that I haven't mentioned in this particular call, but I really want to, I guess, re-promote. And that is that, you know, we have our regular executive interviews. Those are always kind of the most click-through, most read pieces of content that we have in mobility news. Those are also promoted on Sat News. So Sat News always reruns those, or, you know, promotes those articles as well and puts those into their publication. So that's another member benefit that we've had on an ongoing basis, and we would love to see our members continue to take advantage of that. So if you're not familiar with those, I can add a link to a couple of examples when I send out this presentation. But that's another really amazing member benefit and opportunity to get some, you know, an executive. It could be a CEO or head, or it could be just a head of a business unit or part of the business. So it's again like a great opportunity to get some coverage for your company and promote either a new solution or even just a specific area of business that you offer. So again, that's another member opportunity, you know, kind of member only opportunity as well. I don't know if you have any questions or even input on that, if you've remembered seeing those in the past. My hope on that is to actually, get a whole schedule in place and reach out proactively to our members to schedule those so that you can kind of plan ahead for participating in that. And it's one of those benefits that is just part of your membership. And I want to make sure that you don't miss out on that opportunity. Any other thoughts on, just as a member, gee, I wish MSUA would offer this other benefit, or I've seen another organization, whether it's in the industry or not. I mean, some of the things that I've been looking at is looking at other industry organizations and what kinds of things do they do to benefit their members so that we can continue to improve and, and grow what it is that we're offering to our members. Any thoughts? Additional thoughts?
Again, I sort of apologise because I haven't been engaged enough in MSUA to date, so you might already be doing it. But focus groups or subgroups within MSUA that focus on particular segments of the market might help get that sort of more focused and targeted attention to a set of users that where, for instance, public safety is important, but they don't care about maritime, or just giving people a reason for the various segments of the market to engage more closely because they feel like there's a subgroup or a focus area that really speaks to them.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Any other thoughts? Well, know that this is on our minds, especially going into 2021. And we would, we're very open to your input and your ideas. We will be proactively rolling things out or putting things in front of you for your input and thoughts. So don't be shy, I guess is the point. Don't be shy, and definitely we want you to actively reach out to us and let us know what you would benefit from as a member. So really those are the main things that I wanted to cover today. I don't want to take up more of your time than necessary, but definitely, like I said, we are very keen to continue to grow and really provide benefits that are going to support your initiatives, your businesses, and so please reach out. Like I said, don't be shy. We want to hear from you, and let us know what you think as we're rolling things out as well, especially as we continue to do these pulse sessions. And I will be sending out messages about upcoming pulse sessions that we would like to do. And if you have a panelist that you think would be great for that topic, please let me know. I'll potentially be looking for speakers on specific topics. And again, also looking to you for other topics that you would really like to cover. Any other thoughts? Oh, go ahead.
And it's Frank. Last time, I promise.
No, don't be shy.
So this is my sales pitch. The Public Safety Network. You can Google it, and if you're interested in a sponsorship or using a renewal sponsorship that you've earned from your renewal, let us know. More than one of you can sponsor, and some of the sponsorships are very low. We're just trying to cover our basic costs. If you don't sponsor, it's not a problem. We're doing it anyway, but just wanted to put my last sales pitch in there. Thanks, Lisa.
Absolutely. Thanks, Frank. And thank you all for attending. If you're watching this later as an on-demand session, feel free, as always, to reach out to president@msua.org to reach me, or to marketing@msua to reach kind of the broader marketing part of the organization. We're, like I said, looking always for input and thoughts on what we're doing and where we're headed. So thank you so much for attending this session. And like I said, next session will be December 10th, and Euroconsult will be joining us and telling us about their offers for MSUA members. So thank you for being here today, and we really look forward to seeing you next month.
Thank you very much, Lisa.
Thanks, Lisa. Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Frank.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.